Hey guys, welcome to another Rise of Flight video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the career of Jarvis Royal Lufbery. He's the guy who I talked about. He's a French-American born in France. His father was an American. His mother was a French woman. I think his father was a chemist at a chocolate factory during the war. And this bio is not accurate. It's just what Rise of Flight does. You pick your name and it asks you to kind of pick a profile. So maybe you're the son of a nobleman, maybe you come from a military family, maybe you were, a laborer, and it just generates this random kind of bio for you. So this is not accurate, but this is I think the closest picture that I could get to Lufbery. If not, it is him. It gives you a set of pictures that you can pick from. But regardless, Lufbery's story was interesting. And I'll show you how the career mode looks. So let's go to the let's go to World News for one. And you can see this changes every single day, I believe. There's a few key things here. It's the World Times. I believe this was a real paper. You can see the date here. It's October 30th, 1916. And let me go to missions real quick. Here's a span of the Rise of Flight campaign. You can't go earlier than September of 1916, so you kind of missed a lot of the war back here, unfortunately. By this point in the war, in October of 1916, Lufbery was already an ace. He actually had 5 kills at the time, so he was already, becoming quite a aviator. And previous to that, I think he joined the squadron in April of 1916, and this squadron, the Escadrille Americaine, was formed just American pilots. And one of the French commanders got an idea, and he said, "Hey, there's a lot of Americans that want to volunteer and fly, so let's form a squadron. It would make sense to keep those guys together." The squadron consisted of 38 aviators, and they were called the Vigilant 38, or the Valiant, or Vigilant 38, and it consisted of four French officers, and this is all captured kind of in the movie Flyboys. Lufbery, he didn't really fit in. He had a very thick, French accent, and then they also talk about in the book, Eddie Rickenbacker's book called Fighting the Flying Circus. He talks about the squadron lion. He's actually named Whiskey. Apparently, this is on Wikipedia, so I don't know how historically accurate. But apparently, there was a cub that was born, and from Africa, it was being transported. The cub was born, and the cub attempted to drink a saucer full of whiskey, so that kind of became his name. And then they got a girl companion, and her name was Soda. And these lions did roam around. Lufbery was very close to both the lions, especially Whiskey. Whiskey would follow him around the squadron. So that was pretty cool. And then he had to fight extra hard to fit in, and he actually became a really amazing aviator. Let's go to headquarters. And remember, I talked about in an earlier video, it's not just a flight sim, it's also a war campaign simulator. So our base is in Catchy here. You can see all the squadrons. The Escadrille Americaine, or Lafayette Escadrille, was squadron number 124. So these are all the squadrons that are based here. And of course, these are the trench lines that kind of go all the way up here from the North Sea all the way down into the Swedish mountains here. So here's the western front of Germany's advance, and there's a few missions here. There's a patrol. I think this is a balloon attack. So you can see that these flights that are scheduled at 8:46, there's a balloon attack, and at 14:21 there's an offensive patrol. Let's go over to missions. What the campaign generator will do is it'll show you these flights here, and then it'll assign you to that flight. So you can't control that. A really cool thing is, as you progress in the campaign, you will increase in rank depending on your performance, and eventually at a certain point you will become a squadron commander if you make it. If you don't die, I guess you can die and still repeat mission, but eventually you'll command the squadron, and you can actually create what missions you want. You can pick the airplanes, you can pick the altitudes, you can pick the times, and you would do what a squadron commander does. So that's pretty remarkable. The other thing is, once you become an ace, I believe, then you can go on what's called lone wolf missions. So you can, at the end of scheduled missions for the day, you can actually schedule a lone wolf mission where you'll go out and you can go hunting for the Hun. Okay, this is what von Richtofen did. So a lot of the high-scoring aces, they would go out on patrols and try to down enemy aircraft. In the world news, yeah, here you can see at this time in the war, Oswald Boelcke, the top scoring ace, 40 kills at the time. I'm sorry, Boelcke was killed by a Briton, and it gives you a little short synopsis. He was a noted German aviator. His death was reported yesterday, and so Boelcke's death adds, the correspondent was announced by Emperor William at a luncheon given on Saturday at the Castle of Bellevue by the Emperor. And so it gives you a sense of really being in the war, and you can see the quality and the care of research that was done for Rise of Flight. Now, to my understanding, the guys that developed this, we're not talking about haphazardly putting